Yes, mate, come on, let's go.
All right.
All right, guys, let's go. Next round.
That is the most fun I've had watching Arsenal play this season. It was the best football that we've played. It was our most complete performance, and it was the best performance from our front five. There's so many things we have to talk about, but the main thing that I feel like needs to be said is that this game is an advertisement to show people why teams do not open up against us in the Premier League. Because if you do, this is what happens. We do not have a lack of quality in our forward positions. We don't have a lack of quality in our midfield, in our attacking eights. We don't have, a problem scoring in terms of like, oh, we don't know how to score. They just decide not to play football, and it's hard to break those teams down. But when teams do what Lens did today and give us all the space in the world, this is who you're facing. A team that will put 6 by you and 5 by you in the first half. That was a sensational performance from Arsenal. Not just from a goal scoring perspective either, but a professionalism perspective. Defensively, we were really good. In the midfield, we were really sound. We popped the ball around. We had good, really good balance in everything that we were doing. It wasn't like we were attacking and left the back door open. It was like Lens had no way through. And I do want to say that their player, Eli Wahi, was really, really good on the day. I think that when you look at their performance, the only shining light that they'll have is that player. That player will not be there for very long. He was very good. And he's the first player that I've seen do anything to Saliba the way that he did it, right? But that being said, beyond that, they didn't have anything. And this is a game that I was worried about. I was, just because, this is a team that like in their last like 12 or something games hasn't given up more than 1 goal. They haven't lost a game in their last 12 matches. So for us to beat them 6-0 and to do it the way that we did, that was very like shocking to me. Not because I don't think we're good, because I just didn't think it was on the cards for today. But my goodness, what a performance. Kai Havertz. We may have a left center mid on our hands, guys. I said it before that the goal that he scored for Germany, I thought would benefit us. People said it wouldn't matter, but I think it has. In his last 4 matches for club and country, he scored 3 goals. And he looked really, really good today. Like there was a level of confidence there that we haven't seen from him before. Gabriel Jesus, like when we talk about a player that's like Jekyll and Hyde, he may look, like he's not clinical in the Premier League, but when he gets into Champions League, he might as well be Ronaldo. I mean, the guy just has absolutely everything when he plays in these type of European competitions. Saka, on another level. I mean, it's another day, another fantastic performance from our best player, our star boy, our franchise player. Like, he just was on another planet. They couldn't live with him, and they better give him the assist for that Jesus goal because he absolutely touched that ball. And last but not least, Tommy freaking Asu. Tommy Kafu is what we're going to start calling him, because that guy, that was the best fullback performance I've seen from an Arsenal player in a very long time, because it was good in both directions, defensively and attacking wise. The pass that he makes for Martinelli's goal, I could watch that on loop over and over and over again. The little clip ball that he put in for Odegaard's goal, the finesse, he was perfect. And he came out at halftime, and you guys, I'm going to tell you right now, he's still my man of the match. He's still my man of the match, even though he came out at halftime, because I haven't seen a performance like that from a fullback at Arsenal in a very, very, very long time. And that's not to shade Ben White or Zinchenko, but that was sensational. It really was. And it's so nice to see Tomiyasu get the plaudits that he deserves. I think Arsenal fans are starting to wake up to the type of player that we have. 18 million. 18 million should not get you a player like Tomiyasu. Absolute steal. And I will always thank Mikel Arteta for pressing the stop button on the Emerson Royale deal and saying, actually, we need to go get Takehiro Tomiyasu, because that guy could end up being a world-class player. He really, really could. He's really coming into his own. And that's not to, knock anybody else's performances. I thought the entire team was fantastic. But Tomiyasu, Ben White better watch out. I said before the game that I didn't necessarily feel that Ben White was losing his spot, but if Tomiyasu continues to put in performances like that, what can you say? So, fantastic performance from Arsenal, the biggest win under Mikel Arteta, the best football I think I've ever seen us play. And that might feel weird because last season we were amazing, but I just feel like the balance of the performance was the best thing I've seen from Arsenal. 6 goals, 5 in the first half, scintillating football, masterful counterattacking football, great defensive, work as well. Good save from Raya, good passing out from the back from Raya. Never looked under threat, never looked like we were going to give it up, never looked phased, nothing. And so I do think this, for me, feels like the best performance I've seen from Mikel Arteta's team, for me, because it was the most complete performance we've ever had. And I enjoyed every freaking minute of it, and I cannot wait to rewatch it. What are you guys saying? John P. says El Neni, Ramsdale, and the likes are going to get a Champions League start now. We talked about that as well. Like, this gives us the opportunity to rest and rotate some of the players that we're all kind of worried about. Saka is probably somebody that shouldn't play in that game. Rice, Saliba, we really need to look to rotating these guys out. But most importantly, I think it's important to get Ramsdale a Champions League appearance because he helped us get here and he deserves to play in the Champions League at least one time. And so it's a perfect opportunity under no stress, under no threat whatsoever to allow Ramsdale to play in this game. And that's what doing the business helps you accomplish. You can now rotate and rest. And it's something that we haven't been able to do before. Kasim says, David Raya's attitude and calmness on the ball gives our defenders a lot of confidence. I said early on in the game, if you saw Raya's starting position and how he's basically like horizontal or like parallel to our defenders, like our center backs, I think it's really, it's gone under the radar. His positioning is different than Ramsdale's. He plays more like a center back. His starting position is a lot higher. And I don't think that's something that Ramsdale is comfortable with, but it's the reason why Raya is playing. And the longer that he plays without the fan base hating him just for existing, the better his performances will go. I think, personally. I think he was outstanding today. And I think he deserves the respect because it wasn't but a couple of weeks ago where people wanted his head, Emilio says, shameless hyping up a win against a farmer club. I mean, it's better than being last in your group or not being in the competition at all, isn't it? So there you go. M. Howe says we need some more respect. Hale says, great performance today. It's about time. Igro says, I bet Arteta still won't play Ramsdale. He should, though. I think it's the right thing to do. Mashab says, does Tommy now start the next few games ahead of White? I think it just depends on whether or not Arteta was starting Tommy because he felt like he was the better option or because Ben White needed some more time to get going, because we know that Ben White was suffering with some sort of injury. And so I don't think it's not clear that Ben White has lost his spot or anything like that. But yeah, if Tomiyasu continues to perform like this, then he should maintain the spot. I do think that meritocracy has to come in at some point. And so I don't think it's like Ben White is finished or anything like that at this stage because he's obviously coming back from an injury. But Tomiyasu was taken off to be rested. So he most likely, along with Zinchenko, is going to start at home against Wolves. And so if he puts in another performance, maybe Ben White has something to worry about.